Hello. Uh, Something I wanted to talk about. Recently, I'm reading this. What I'm going to talk about is about Mahabharata. Recently, I'm coming across lots of posts about dating of Mahabharata. I know it's going from very long time. Different attempts to date Mahabharata. That recently I'm seeing this last couple of years it's again started by using the astronomical references in the Mahabharata and try to date the Mahabharata time or put different dates. There are sites also, Mahabharata resources and something which has listed the attempts has been made to date Mahabharata. Now, uh, problem with this, I will list the problems and how the misguided attempts has been around. The most fanatic attempt to push the date behind was done by that PV Vartak and recently by that Nilesh Oak, who is giving 5530 something 32 BC before Christ, like 8500 years, not 8000, 7500 years before our times for the Mahabharata. Then some people put 3000 BC, 3100 BC, which is a traditional timeline. When I say traditional, it means traditional since last few hundreds of years. Then there is mention by some astronomers like Varahamir about when Yudhishthira was ruling. So that date is also there. That is some 2600 years before Christ. Now, these different dates, and I don't trust the astronomical books like Aryabhat or Varahamir, because there are huge interpolations done by early British Indologists like William Jones and Bentley, Colebrook. These people have changed the most Sanskrit Puranas and astronomical books. So I don't trust those references. Anyway, even if you ignore these modern references and if you decided only to trust the references in Mahabharata, and what are those references? Like which planet is in which nakshatra? This kind of references. In Mahabharata, they mention sometimes like the Kali Yuga will start now, Dwapar is going and all. But there is no clear cut mention about 8,64,000 years of Dwapar Yuga is going on, or there is no mention of Dwapar Yuga Samvat. Because if we assume the Kali Yuga started after the Krishna's departure from the earth, then before that time in the Mahabharata, because Mahabharata mentions it mentions chronology in Yuga and Manvantara system. Okay, that I can understand. But in the last 150 years before Kali, there should be a running Samvat. Either it was Dwapar Samvat going on, some Dwapar 8 lakh 63,000, 64,000 something. So that mention should be there. That is not there. The mention of Kali Yuga coming, Dwapar is running on. They are contradictory mentions in different parvats, and so those references are confusing. The other thing is the clear astronomical references during the war or before the war and during the war. Like Mars is in this nakshatra, Saturn is in this nakshatra. Now the problem, the very big confusion in these references, because there are opposite references, like same planet is mentioned, because the Mahabharata war happened only for 18 days, and in 18 days the big planets like Mars, Jupiter, Saturn are mentioned in different locations, almost opposite, or like uh, 5 6 signs difference uh, locations. So that cannot be possible. Saturn moves one constellation in 1 year, or Jupiter moves one constellation in 3 months, 4 months. So within 18 days, these planets are not going to change the constellations. And if you check the in the Bhishma Parva, where the planets yogas are mentioned and some comets are mentioned, they are mentioned by the standpoint of astrology and omen science or Shakun Vidya. They are not exact references of the planets. Like there is a saying, there is a rule in the astrology. If Mars is going near the Krittika nakshatra or Rohini nakshatra, then there will be a genocidal wars, there will be destruction and all like that. Now in the Bhishma Parva, Vyasa mentions all the bad signs. The Mahabharata is a book of knowledge. It's not just a book of history or mentioning some records. So while starting of the war, he mentions that there is a dialogue. I think Sanjay and Vyasa himself mentions to Yudhishthira, Dhritarashtra, that how the bad signs are coming, and so war is on the corner. So in that chapter, he describes all the bad omens, bad planetary combinations, which are going to happen. So this is just a list of the bad combinations. It doesn't mean those combinations were happening at that time. First, this should be understood clearly. Another thing is opposite things given. The constellation, that's a big problem. Then there is no mention of zodiacal signs. That's a big problem in the astronomical history in India, and that's also probably caused by these William Jones and early Indologists who destroyed too many ancient books and interpolated the books. So it is caused by them. So we cannot rely on the astronomy fully. Okay, by some methods, like I proposed, or few other earlier historians also proposed, by the day of Bhishma Nirvana, like Bhishma left his body, left his life on when the Uttarayana was started. And now in our Panchang also, that day is mentioned as a Bhishma Saptami, Bhishma Saptami or Bhishma Ashtami. And by calculating that with the axial precession rate, we can find when that combination, at when the Uttarayan, the northward motion of sun, started during Mahabharata war. Now that day also, that year also comes max before 2200 years before Christ, BC. So these are 2200 plus 200, 2000, 4200 year max we can go by the accurate astronomical reference we can get from Mahabharata. And these Oak and Vartak's books are nonsense books. I don't want to go into those books. P.V. Vartak, he wrote books on Ramayana and Mahabharata in Marathi. Ramayana book is ridiculous. Mahabharata book, he says there are multiple Sayan and Niryan astronomical references in the Mahabharata, but he doesn't know the Parashar astronomy, because Parashar was father of Vyasa, and the books of Parashar Siddhant, Parashar Samhita are available, which tell about astronomical science at that time. Then there is a Garga Samhita available, which also tells about astronomic state of astronomy at when the Mahabharata was composed, or the war happened. Now these two books are still unpublished. Garga Samhita is in manuscript stage, and Garga was Raj Purohit, Raj Jyotishi in Krishna's palace, is Krishna's kingdom in Dwarka, and he also given the horoscopes of Krishna, and he also mentions about passing away of Krishna, and also all those details are there. These details, these people like Oak and many recent historians want to push the Mahabharata date behind. They don't take it into account. Another thing, which is the bigger problem of the fixing the Mahabharata date, is the place of the Mahabharata. Where did Mahabharata actually happen? Now all these historians are assuming like Mahabharata happened in the present, the cities names which are named like Hastinapur, Kurukshetra, Mathura. There these events happen. Now these cities are not ancient cities. There were no ancient settlements in that region in 3000 2000 years before of the Vedic people. So that placing the Mahabharata is most important first, then finding the time of the Mahabharata. There are too many references in the Mahabharata from the Iranian culture, which is closely connected to the Avesta. The worship of Nara Narayan, worship of Ashwini Kumar, the importance of dog, considering dog as a friend in the last parva, the morality which Mahabharata represents. These all are Iranian elements, and the pre-Mahabharata and post-Mahabharata things. The Janamejaya and Parikshit, you know where the Janamejaya was ruling? He was ruling in Takshashila. Takshashila is the westernmost part of the India. Now Takshashila is very close from the Iran and Afghanistan, and there are parallel references from Iranian history, because the Janamejaya did Sarpasatra. He killed the population of Sarpas. So who were these Sarpas? From Naga race. Was that race from India? So was that invasion of Janamejaya from Iran into India? Why that Sarpasatra for? Generally the Shatapat Brahman and earlier scriptures mention Sarpasatras or big satras. They are for cleaning the area, cleaning the forest, then cleaning the local population of old races, barbaric people, and start a new civilization. That's what the Yajna and the big Sarpasatras are. So when the Sarpasatra was done at Takshashila, and it means even in Mahabharata Adi Parva it suggested like that's the main purpose of the whole Mahabharata story. But when the Sarpasatra was done in the Takshashila, it was done as a revenge of killing of Parikshit. And if you know that there are local stories also in Uttarakhand and that Pahadi language, Mahabharata stories, old Mahabharata stories. They tell you stories after the Parikshit, after the Janamejaya. So those stories describe about the fight between Naga race and Janamejaya. Naga race, Parikshit, how Parikshit marries one Nag Kanya, who was daughter of Vasuki, and how this leads to the fight. Now this no one is considering. Then too many mentions of Iranian and Assyrian culture in Mahabharata. Those things no one is considering. The Mahabharata war happened on the plain surface, there was considerable use of chariots. Ratha was a prominent vehicle in the Mahabharata. Now Ratha you can use on the plain surface, either in the desert plain surface or the total plain surface. You can use Ratha. You cannot use Rathas in the forts, in the mountains. You cannot climb with the Rathas on the mountains and fight a war. That's the main vehicle for the plains. And now where was that area? We find one references of the Kuru the Great, the Iranian king. The second, in English it is called Sirius the Great. His name is Kuru, and you don't know who was he exactly. Who was he in the Kuru lineage, and was after him the invasion happened in India? That also we don't know. There was an old Doordarshan serial which just started for a few episodes and it ended in 2002 or something, 2000, around 2000, 1999, 2000. At that time, in first few episodes, they showed this, like how the fight between the Naga tribe and this king happened. Because the people who put the Aryan invasion theory, the Western Indologists or Indian Indologists also, they are not able to fix the timeline. Okay, we agree, the Aryan people came from the western side, the mid-Europe and then northwest. But when they came, that no one is clearly telling, because it has political motives in fixing that time. So even the Western Indologists are trying to push that date very, very fast, like 2000, 3000 years before. And the pride Hindutva Indologists and historians, they are just gone case. They will say everything went from here to outside. Okay, fine, if we accept that, then at least still you should be able to explain when it happened. So they are not able to explain it. Then there are problems in the Krishnath story. So those story, that's totally different issue again. The Devaki Putra Krishna and Krishna from the Gokul, and like earlier I was mentioning about the cities, the Mathura, what we call present Mathura, was the second Mathura. The earlier Mathura was Madhupur near Peshawar. Like this is second Mathura. The third Mathura is Madurai, which was named after the second Mathura, and the second Mathura was named after the earlier Mathura or Madhupur. Krishna is called Madhusudan because he killed the Madhu Rakshas, Madhu demon. That's why that name came Mathura or Madhupur. So that was in the northwestern side. That was not in India. So that the placing the Mahabharat, the timeline, the contradictions, astronomical contradictions, and the third one is difference of generations. Like clearly in Mahabharata and other Puranas, the different generations are given, their names and numbers, from Parikshit to Nanda, that Mahapadmananda of Patliputra. How many generations passed? So, and how many years passed? The years as per the Mahabharata till that Patliputra fellow are 1055 or something. So he is assumed to be in the 3rd century BC. So beyond that 1000 years is 1300 BC. This as per the generation gap. Even as per the Vedanga Jyotish, that's another ancient book on astronomy. That book is also which the same method of astronomical calculation is used in Mahabharata is from the Vedanga Jyotish. So that book is old. That book's time is fixed as a 1300 to 1400 BC. So Mahabharata should be at least before that or after that or around that time. So there also we face the contradiction, because of those people like Oak and Vartak, who are taking the Mahabharata 5500 year BC, how they are going to accommodate these gaps of the kings. It was supposed to be put in 1050 years. Everybody will say this is interpolation, that is interpolation, which doesn't match your views. I'm actually thinking to write about this Mahabharata dating business, and actually I want to write my opinion about the whole thing of Mahabharata, like where it could have happened, if it happened. First, if it's a real story, first we have to fix it is a real story or not, because many things are symbolical, many things are allegorical. So first we have to fix, is it real story, then where it happened, then when it happened. And I don't see much the pride in putting the Mahabharata date in ancient times, because there is no enough things, there is no enough literature, there is no enough architecture, there is no nothing. What we say, we have the 5000 years of civilization, okay? So what is there? And before that we have lakhs of years of civilization. So in this last 5000 years, what we built, what we wrote, what we created, what are the evidences? Where it gone? So not much is there. Even if we say the temples were destroyed by Muslims and all, but in South India there are many temples, and they have the timeline of it, and they are mostly built by in last 1000 years. Even the Shilpa Shastra books, which give the diagrams and methods for constructing the temple, they are not 5000-year-old books. And where is the literature? If you know, most Sanskrit literature was written post 1500, between 1500 to 1800. In these 300 years, almost 80%, more than 80% of current available Sanskrit manuscripts are written. In astronomy itself, I put that in my one paper, like how 80% to 90% of astronomical books in Sanskrit are written post 1500. We have very rare books of before 1500, and more we go before, the number of books, that graph goes, that size of that graph goes small. This is the same in poetry, this is same in Ayurveda, this is same in architecture. There is no enough literature. We boost on the counting of 1 lakh verses. So great Mahabharata. 1 lakh verses is not big thing. The Bharat Katha, that big book of stories, it's supposed to be bigger than Mahabharata. So 1 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh verses in 5,000 years. You know how many books the 1 lakh verses becomes? It's some 10 volumes, 10 big A4 size volumes. The whole entire Mahabharata will be covered. And such more 10 maximum 30 40 A4 sizes books. Whole Sanskrit and Indian ancient literature is covered in that. So this literature is not enough for 5,000 years of civilization, and not even remotely enough for 8,000 years of civilization, or 24,000 years of civilization. And so this kind of contradictory things are there. Even what I write also, when you write history, there are always contradiction, because evidences are very scattered. You have to choose your evidences depending upon your view, and that every historian does. You cannot ignore other evidences also, but you have to see what is more with line of other things. So contradictions happen, I agree, and that's why I get really surprised. These people who boast about dating Mahabharata, what they achieve from doing this. If tomorrow I write a book, I have one theory also, that even if that Mahabharata war happened, it happened in Iran-Afghanistan border, and it happened just 600 years before Christ. That's a wild theory. I don't have enough evidences for this theory, but that theory is there, and that theory is support of one Indologist also in 18th century. So that I am probably it will create a lots of controversy, and especially the Bhakts and the Hindutva people, the self boosters of Indian history, you will get just, I don't know what will happen with these Oak and these people. And without thorough knowledge, you should not get into this business of dating Mahabharata and dating Krishna's time, dating Ramayana time. With the Ramayana time, there is too much confusion. There are different storylines and internal evidences which suggest that Ramayana itself was written post Mahabharata. And then if the Ramayana was written in the 5th or 4th century, then when Ram happened? So those are different problems with the Ramayana. The Mahabharata, because you need lots of understanding. You need understanding of mid-Asian culture, the Sumerian culture, the Iranian culture, their languages, their and religious ancient works, the Vedic history, the timelines of different kings, their coins, the internal evidences in Mahabharata and Puran and others, astronomical books, the Ayurvedic books. Considering all that, you can go fix a certain timeline. If tomorrow I say the Mahabharata happened 20,000 years before, by some that precision of axis theory which moves, assumed to move, completes a cycle in 25,920 years. So I can push the date 25,900 beyond that. So I can say the Mahabharata happened 31,000 years BC. Like that movie was there, some 15,000 BC or 13,000 BC, like that. What is use of it? What happened in between 13,000 years, 30,000 years? What happened in between 5,000 years? You don't know proper history from Mughals. You don't know proper history of Shivaji. You don't know proper history of Peshwa's time. You don't know what current our prime minister is doing, or what happened in the UPA time. So saying 5,000 years without bringing any in between interlinking evidences is just foolishness. It's just putting, it's a self-destructive purposes, self-destructive actions. So I'm thinking, considering now that guy Manish Pandit also coming into Mahabharata dating business. So I don't know if I feel before that I have to write about the Ravana book on the Ravan, and then I will consider about writing this the Mahabharata, date of Mahabharata war. We'll see. Thank you for listening, but I request you, those are interested in the Mahabharata history and Mahabharata itself, should listen to this video. Thank you.